Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you having a fantastic Sunday wherever you are around the world. And why wouldn't you be? The Reds, of course, have beaten West Ham by 2-1 earlier on today. Of course, apologies, the post-match is a bit later on than usual. But again, of course, the Reds... Oh, stress. That was stressful towards the end of the game. Of course, obviously, Virgil van Dijk does win Liverpool the game in the end, thank God. And of course, which now means Liverpool could technically win the Premier League next week, I should say. Next season. Jesus Christ, that's a hope, of course, as of things right now. But of course, Liverpool are only 6 points away mathematically from winning the Premier League title for the 20th time, of course. And of course, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Of course, let me know your guys' thoughts, your man of the match as well in the comments as well. Very much appreciate to know your guys' thoughts down below as well, because look, it was a game of two halves, really, wasn't it? It wasn't as simple as I think probably the first half was labeling it to be. Really, certainly in that second half, Liverpool did switch off yet again, and of course, that did cause us problems, and it did realistically. West Ham, you would probably say, did deserve something from the game more towards the end of it, but look, I think on an overall perspective, I think Liverpool, of course, getting the job done, the ugly way, of course, but still, it's vital the fact that again we can win these types of games, even though it is pretty rough going, I would say personally, anyway. But of course, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below. But big up Cal saying that was like giving a dog a toy, then taking it off, then weird subs. A very fortunate, need to find more levels. Again, we should win. We should win it by Spurs now, of course. And yeah, I'd agree. I think kind of the second half, the first half, I thought we were really good. I did think, again, we attacked West Ham, of course, going a bit more direct, obviously ball over the top. Obviously, Mo Salah capitalized a lot from that, certainly in the first half, which, of course, obviously led to the Luis Diaz goal, which, by the way, were a ball from Mo Salah. We will get onto him a bit later on. But it's that sense of as well where, for me, I thought we attacked, we did everything right against West Ham. Look, they tried to, again, crowd the midfield. Obviously, they played a 3 at the back that was changing. It was a makeshift 3 at the back, 4 at the back that realistically, changed, all throughout the game, really. It wasn't just set in stone for West Ham. And I think when you look at it, of course, Liverpool, for me, I think Liverpool definitely, again, first half was really good in terms of dealing with that. Second half, I thought the midfield especially suffered quite a lot, and obviously led to the goal and other bits and pieces in the game. But I thought the entirety of the midfield, I thought at times were a bit lacking. Even though I think me personally, I thought McAllister was outstanding again today. I did feel like we did miss something there, and it was pretty obvious to see. And I think that for me, I think looking at it and reflecting on it a little bit, obviously a bit after the game, it does a little bit feel like if it was maybe maybe a lack of press at the front. Obviously Diogo Jota going off pretty early for for Cody Gakpo. Obviously Cody come on, played on the left. Obviously Lucho then went down the center. But it's that thing though as well where I think the overall team and the whole intensity, I think, went down quite a bit in the second half. And of course, whether or not that was a tactical side of things, who knows. But I think overall it wasn't great the second half, but compared to the first, which of course did, we did end up conceding off of that. And realistically, and if I did a watch along, Andy Robertson was again the devil in that second half. Really, I look, Jesus Christ, if it stayed 1-1 and we had missed the opportunity to win the league early, look, I would have been absolutely fuming on this post match as well, anyway. But of course, get your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, anyway. But it's always nice when a player just made a mistake, then have it rectified straight after sign of leading by example. Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. I would also say, you can hold Virgil and Robbo at fault. For me, I blame Robbo more than Virgil personally. But I look at it and go, you can easily blame the two. But still, like, the fact that Virgil then goes on to win the game for Liverpool, especially with all the noise around Virgil van Dijk. Of course, he's going to re-sign a contract at Liverpool if he, already hasn't done already. And, I've even got it there, Virgil wins it late on, and he did. And, that's the perfect example, again, of showing leadership, really. And, of course, that, towards the end of the game, Liverpool have all their options really off. Mo Salah's off. We kind of go to a box, a box 4-4-2 really. With Dom and Maka playing as 2 10s really again, and then having Gravenberch and Endo at the back really. And look, that mistake alone, look, the goal was coming for West Ham. It was, Liverpool didn't take advantage earlier on in the game. And really, that we nearly paid the price because of that. But look, at the end of the day, Virgil stepped up, and now we're talking about Liverpool being 13 points clear, with the potential of winning the league, if not next week, of course, the week after, against Spurs as well. Which, of course, that will infuse Arsenal fury even more. The fact that Arsenal could potentially lose the league because Spurs lost to Liverpool. Again, that'll be a good sight, to be fair, anyway. But what else we have anyway? Let me quickly scroll back up because there are comments up the top. Zayn Robbo's fault. He ran from left back in Van Dijk's clearance as well as from Cal. Big up Ozan as well. I know Ozan will be very happy with that, of course. Predicting Liverpool, or not Liverpool, sorry, predicting Arsenal to drop points again. But yeah, 13 points clear. Kevin De Bruyne open to stay in Liverpool, in England. No, I've argued, well, not argued, but I've had conversations with people around that. And of course, if they are watching the stream, you know who you are. But yeah, I don't want Kevin De Bruyne, unfortunately. Once upon a time, absolutely. Now, no, I don't want to signing a 34-year-old, broken player, really. Even though he is amazing. But look. But we're keeping hold of 30-plus-year-olds. That's enough. I don't need to be signing anymore. But Robertson is worse than Costas now. No, he's not. No, he's not. Like, if he was, then I'd love, of course, him to obviously be in the team. But yeah, no, he's not. Unfortunately, Cal. Look, Connor predicted 1-1 between Arsenal and Brentford. You did, to be fair. It will be 2-2 against Arsenal and Ipswich. Sorry. Look, if it is, then great. Robertson needs to chill with it. Robertson needs to chill in general. Kirkes, Van Dijk, Canati, Bradley has to be the fullbacks and defence for next season. I would agree, 100%. That for me would be the dream defence really for next season. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Hi Con, how bad are United? It's beautiful to watch. Yeah, watching the second half of that game against Newcastle, they are pretty shite, aren't they? And yeah, long may it continue. Really, I can't really have any arguments against that. Like, even though, like, the fact that Newcastle now, they are, if they win their game in hand, they're 4 points behind Arsenal. There is a possibility that Arsenal don't finish second this season. If that was to happen, if Arsenal get knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid midweek, because I still think that game's not done, personally. I don't. And then they don't finish second. Oh my God. Like, the fact that even this weekend, I've heard so many Arsenal fans claim that that they would be winning the league if hang on a minute, chat, sorry. There we go. Sorry, chat. Like, if they end up winning they end up not beating Madrid, if they end up getting beat and then finishing second, that would be so funny, especially in the context of the fact that even this weekend, like I just said, as all I've heard Arsenal fans say is, "Oh, if we didn't have injuries, we would have won the league. Or if we didn't have this and we didn't have that, we would have won the league. If it wasn't for corruption, we would have won the league." They were never ahead. They were never ever ahead in the Premier League. Not once this season have they been ahead, and that's what I think is so funny is the fact that consistently, that's all you hear. And to be fair, the only like rival fans really that can have any basis is Manchester City, because they've won. Obviously, they've won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. Obviously, the only team to stop Man City has been Liverpool winning a Premier League title, and that will stay the same. And that's what I think is hilarious, really. And look, long may it continue anyway. Of course, Liverpool winning titles anyway. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments as well. But Connor rate the Brentford right back. Kyoto, is it? Or Keada, of course. Very good player. Obviously, if you're FM player, you'll know for sure. Conor Bradley, again, by the way, solid defensively and decent going forward. Yeah, really good cameo, wasn't it? For young Conor Bradley. And look, he's going to be Liverpool's right back next season. The main focus is keeping him fit, and that will be the main focus. I thought him, Maka, I thought, obviously we'll get into man of the matches in a minute, but I thought them two had a decent game. Obviously Mo, Lucho as well, I thought had a decent game. But yeah, definitely builds you with confidence though, doesn't it? Really, the fact that once again, like Liverpool have, all right, we're going to be losing, in my opinion, the best right back in the world, in terms of Trent, but we're not left stranded then, really. With Conor Bradley. Conor Bradley's a very, very good footballer, and a very good right back as well. To be fair, but he played really well. I forgot his name. Yes, Kyoto. I think he's really good. To be fair, I really hope we win it at Leicester. Then we could actually start. We actually start Chiesa. We should already be doing that. Really, to be fair. Big up Hero as well, saying, "Oh, Paddy the baddie, got up at 4ish to watch that. Missed the Reds game though. A win is a win. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, big win for Paddy as well. Fair play. As well, obviously dominated Michael Chandler as well, and now he's probably thinking of a title fight, really, isn't he? He probably is thinking of it. It's probably one more fight if he wins. I know he called out Charles Oliveira, Ilia Depore as well, that he's going to be fighting or could fight. That could be for a title showdown. Who knows? But I think it will be. I think it'll be Paddy against Charles. I think it will be, to be fair. What a KO by Paddy. Yeah, absolutely. He's undefeated in the UFC so far. Yes, he is as well at the minute. Would you have Kevin De Bruyne for a season? No, not for me personally, James. But hopefully we're doing well. Kevin De Bruyne, lol. I wouldn't have Kevin De Bruyne at Liverpool. Again, age and the fact that he has no legs really, unfortunately. But maybe if he gets ordered, no pair of legs, yeah, unfortunately. Wow, Colin, I didn't know you were also an MMA fan as well. Yeah, no, to be fair, all sport really. The only sport that I'm going to say that I have no clue really about, I'll have like general knowledge of it, but like golf and cricket and that's not for me personally. Like, again, I'll watch it if it's on, or whatever, but yeah, like football, UFC, Formula One, boxing, anything like that. Like, yeah, again, I have a general concept of it, but like, yeah, I'll watch snooker, I'll watch everything, and that's just me. I'll watch a general variety of football, of sport, really. But yeah, mainly it's football. That's all my brain is really. Realistically, you can call me a nerd when it comes to things like that as well. But Kevin De Bruyne carried City yesterday. He's nowhere near finish. I think he is. Again, like, all right, he carried City yesterday in one game. Where's he been all season? Where's he been? he has given everything for Manchester City. And all right, creativity wise, 100%. Like Kevin De Bruyne's a phenomenal footballer, but not even for 2 years. I wouldn't give him a contract. And people might call me mad because obviously, you look at somebody like a Thiago, for example, that we ended up keeping around for so long. But yeah, no, I wouldn't personally, because wages is the one thing as well. Like Liverpool are building for the future as well, and to possibly end up paying like 200 plus a week for Kevin De Bruyne, no, not my opinion anyway. But only sports. I don't understand cricket. I'm not into golf. Yet Radio 5 was all about it today. Yeah, of course, because Rory McIlroy. Obviously, he's going for the Masters. I don't think Rory McIlroy's won a major tournament or a major golf event since 2014. I think they said something like that. So of course, that's big news. Really, but yeah, I don't think, to be fair. I can't even understand rugby. And rugby, it's all right. I'm not huge of it. Obviously, I'm from Wales, so obviously it's obviously a national sport, but I'm not huge on it, to be fair. But big up Breadswell, big up Lee. Hopefully doing well, mate. Arsenal lost. Arsenal lose this weekend, and we are confirmed champions. That is true. Actually, no, it's not. We have to beat Leicester to win the league. But in also saying that, Liverpool don't need to win a game of football now from now until the end of the season. Liverpool could draw every single game from now until the end of the season, and we'll win the league. So, it's nice, isn't it? Really. But Rory McIlroy is a huge United fan. He is indeed. Roy Keane was his hero until Roy Keane brutally ignored him in a hotel lobby, apparently, which don't know if that's true or not, but well, that's if we win. Yeah, if we beat Leicester and Arsenal lose, Liverpool win the title. It's done then. And I think Wednesday will have a huge effect on it, really. I think Wednesday, if Arsenal lose that game, like if somehow Real Madrid come back to win that game and Arsenal bottle it, like even on the weekend, Ipswich, I know Ipswich are pretty much down, but look at it today. They drew 2-2 against Chelsea. Should have realistically won. You were 2-0 up, really. But still, imagine if Ipswich beat then Arsenal on the weekend. Like, that would be huge, really. But look, I think either way, personally, I would love it to beat Spurs. I would personally. I'd love to beat Spurs and win the league at the same time. It's got nothing to do with Spurs really, but it's the whole sentiment of like Liverpool have beaten Spurs to beat Arsenal to win the Premier League, and that would be hilarious to me because again, Arsenal, Spurs, that whole rivalry, but it's also that sense of, for me, the fact that Arsenal will still give us a guard of honor. Yeah, Chelsea will give us the first guard of honor, but then Arsenal will give us the guard of honor, the first one at Anfield. I don't know whether or not if it's going to be continuing on from that. I don't think it will be, but still, I think you get, I think you get a guard of honor after the game after you've won the league. But again, I think you also get one for the first home game as well, where you win the league. So even still, Liverpool will still get a guard of honor from Arsenal, even if they win against Tottenham. If they beat Tottenham. So, like for me, I personally want that anyway. But I just need 3 points against Leicester. Same, and a decent performance really, because look at it today. Really, we didn't. That first half, like I said, I thought we were good, but then we fell apart really, and that can't happen because better opposition. For example, if we play Arsenal, I think if we play Arsenal, they beat us if we do what we did today. Really, but I think there also needs to be a big credit towards West Ham because all season rival fans have said this league is dipping off and this league hasn't been competitive. Look at the game today. Like, the game was very competitive. It's going to be the champions of England playing 17th in the league, and it was a game. It was a proper game, and that for me goes to show that again the quality level in the Premier League. Again, it's so good. The fact that West Ham are 17th in the league is mental, really. But look, for me, I think Liverpool again next week against Leicester. Sorry, just need a good performance. Obviously 3 points is a must, but still, a good performance would do wonders. I think going into that Spurs game as well, and the fact that we've got another week now to prepare for it. As well will be great, of course, as well. But we're going to have some mad 4-4 props against Brighton away. To be fair, we most likely won't care at that point, will we? To be fair, be party time by then, hopefully. But Arteta will want to avoid swallowing the bitter pill. Lol as well. True. That is very, very true. Anyway, but look, speaking, of course, more on the game, obviously, Mo Salah, yet again, wow, what do we talk about Mo? Yet more records being set by him. Of course, he has broke now the obviously the goals and assists record. Obviously, was set by Erling Haaland for, of course, 38 games. Of course, he still has to overtake, I think it's Alan Shearer and Andy Cole. Oh, as I nearly tipped my phone over. Of course, to beat it, but again, he's on 45 goals and assists for this season, of course, which does now make him, the number one now for a 38 league season. Which again, lucky, he's unbelievable, isn't he? And I think, of course, for me, he absolutely deserves his contract. And I've seen people since he signed his contract, of course, say like, oh look, he's going to turn into Mesut Ozil. Yeah, the passing ability, because that assist that he did for Luis Diaz was outrageous, so good, outside the foot, bang, and of course the weight on it was perfect. It was excellent, wasn't it? And look, for me, Mo Salah, he's on another level compared to everyone in the Premier League. He will win the PFA Player of the Year, I think. If you judge from any of the videos online, especially Aina's and Callum Hudson-Odoi, their reaction to Mo Salah's re-signing was hilarious, to be fair. And I think that's pretty much, what the rest of the league is. The fact that Mo Salah's still around, he's going to be here for another 2 years as a minimum. It could even be 3. Again, I think is brilliant. And look, he's a physical freak, isn't he? Realistically, and look, he could 100%, go on and cause absolute ructions, still in the Premier League and break even more records. But look, we'll have to have a look and wait and see. Anyway, but look, we will have to wait and see. See what happens. Anyway, but look, for me, outstanding again today, Mo. Anyway, even though he didn't get a goal, to be fair. But why are any of the rival fans, Arsenal and United, saying this is the worst quality of the Prem in decades? Because they're shite. That's the real honesty of it. Anyway, Ozan, because they're shite. Yeah, absolutely. Sour grapes. Yes, he can play. Play centre back. Yeah, absolutely. Ozan can definitely play centre back. I've seen him play. I'm joking anyway. But they're saying La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, and even the French league is clear. The Prem, no. I will say it though. I think this year especially has been an eye opener. Really, even look at last season. I think a lot of people have said oh, Serie A has been poor for years and that. And then I think you look at last season, going into this season, I think Italian teams, I think they had 10 or 11 teams in Europe. Not just Champions League, but Europa League and Conference League. And that goes to show, again, football, and even to an extent, the whole of this week or the past 2 weeks, you've had Gary Neville come out and say that football is getting worse and this, that, and the other. And then you watch the quality then of the Champions League games that was coming up. And you look at the quality midweek, and it was brilliant, and it was when two teams actually get at each other. Again, it was great to watch, every Champions League game. And that's been the case for a while, and it's the only reason why this whole basis of, the Premier League is awful or this and that is because the pundits teams are shit. Arsenal pundits, United pundits as well. You look at Gary Neville has been a big and huge talking point the last week, saying that the Premier League is robotic and it's not good and this, that, and the other. It's because your teams are shit. It's because Liverpool have run away with the league when they rightfully should never have run away with it this season. And United are crap, City are crap, Arsenal are crap. Again, that's not Liverpool's fault. That's the other team's fault. Catch up with us, boys. Come and do your worst, really. But personally, I think it'll be a PSG Barcelona final myself. I think that will be the game. And I tell you what, right? Even though I do think the French league, it's a bit meh. But I think there are quality, there's qualities within it. There's a good chance PSG win the Champions League this year. A gigantic, a gigantic chance that PSG win the Champions League because Luis Enrique is a brilliant manager. Like, again, I'm just saying this now from a rival's perspective. If Arsenal got Luis Enrique in, would make them better instantly. Would make them instantly better because he's a winner, and Mikel Arteta's not that. So yeah. That's just my opinion. Anyway, but and yet neither of them have done well. What's that saying about them? Yeah, absolutely. Big up Run as well, saying hello. It's been a while. It's been quite a while. We need 2 more victories. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And of course, they will be coming up thick and fast, hopefully. Anyway, but the Scum are 3 out of 4 on the way down. Sunday Farmers. Yeah, absolutely. Are you going to the Liverpool winners parade if we win? Yes, I will be. Absolutely, Abdul. Would 100% be going. Of course, I will be in Liverpool for it. And yeah, there's no way anybody keeps anybody away from that anyway. What else do we have? What is the bet that no La Liga team will survive a 38-game Premier League season? I think Barca and Real could, but that's the question, isn't it? Like, I think there was a debate, wasn't there, on Twitter about how, where would Barca and Madrid finish? Like, where would Barca, Real Madrid, and PSG finish? I think this season, I think Barca and PSG would get into the top 4. I don't think Real Madrid would. Just because Real Madrid have been really poor in the league. Like, again, even though they are second, that I just feel like they've been really, really poor at times, and they haven't played good football. Like, again, they've really relied on individual brilliance this season. Like Vinny, obviously Bellingham, Mbappe, they've really relied on that, and you saw that against Arsenal. As a team, they're not a good team. Again, they are a team full of individuals. Again. And yeah, that's just my opinion anyway. If anyone else had pissed it in April, they'd be Godsey the media. Yeah, absolutely. But everyone hates us, jealous. Well, yeah, they are. Absolutely, they are. Maybe Atletico. I hope Atletico win it, even though I don't like Atletico Madrid. But yeah, look. I look at it and I go, for me, like, if anyone, I'd like, in order, the top 3 in La Liga would be Atletico, Barca, and actually, no, that's a lie. Barca, Atletico, Madrid. Like Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. But yeah, that's just my opinion anyway. Mary as well, saying Zam as well, Mo Shell. I can see like 5-2 against Spurs. I'd love that, to be fair. It's the desperate between the top 4 and 5 and the other sides in the European League as well. Yeah, absolutely. Because Sebastian as well, saying we are playing badly. We cannot manage more than 35 minutes of good football. At the moment, we might win the Prem, but I think an embarrassing defeat is in the offering. I already think that's happened, personally. Mate, I think Fulham, and it screamed. As I tip my cup over. It very much, being top of the league. Again, you can't be bad and be top of the league. I think, though, this Liverpool team under Slot, it's a couple of signings away from, an improvement really. And what I would say with that is, like, again, it's very evidently that what Liverpool need, and again, Liverpool need an out and out striker, or again, a person that can score goals. Again, chances can be created, but again, can score a goal and take the pressure away from Mo Salah. And then you obviously need a left back, you need a centre mid, left wing could be another option as well in the summer. Obviously, back up for Conor Bradley. But the main positions I would say personally is obviously left back, striker, and also a left winger if, of course, we're selling Luis Diaz, which could be a possibility because obviously Saudi conversations, are a big talking point at the minute. But again, I think, of course, there are plenty of discussions in the summer to obviously talk about, of course, anyway. So, and of course, we'll definitely be talking all throughout from now until the end of the season. And of course, when the summer is around, of course, we'll be doing videos as well. But big up Dave as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. Saying let's go as well. Ron says, in all honesty, I am eager to observe our sort of during the summer transfer window. I think we'll be good in the summer transfer window. No, the Red Rebellion, no. Like, again, I can understand what Sebastian's saying. Absolutely. And look, I get what you mean. Like, again, we've played poorly. We have. Absolutely we have. But again, to play, we haven't played that bad to, again, not be top of the league, if that makes sense. Anyway, but what's that? Red House embarrassing for giving true perception of how we are playing at the minute. Yeah, I would agree with that. To be fair, was close today. Give Alisson his flowers because without him, as well. Yeah. Well, to be fair, thank you for the segue. To be fair, Lee as well. But yeah, Alisson, for me, man of the match. Of course, get yours in the comments. Absolutely was man of the match. We've got. To be fair, we've actually got Alisson's stats, but I didn't have this prepared. And then all of a sudden it's disappeared on me, which brilliant. It always does that. Like, you have everything ready for stream and then it just doesn't go according to plan. Anyway, but as you guys can see on the screen right now, of course, we're talking about Alisson. Obviously, you can check his stats down below. Of course, obviously, this is on SofaScore. You can see 7.2 rating. Again, prevented 0.41. Obviously, goals obviously was expected. I think that's with, of course, the own goal. But again, 4 saves as well, which is huge. And yeah, just in general, a really good performance from Ali. And again, like, even was it Mohamed Kudus's shot as well in the first half, did very well to stop that as well. And also, I would say there was plenty of opportunities that West Ham had that could have easily gone in. And I think for me, I definitely think he would be, again, where would we be without Ali? Really, I know obviously the Premier League did give man of the match to Mo, but for me, man of the match quite easily was Alisson Becker tonight. I thought he was outrageous as well. But look, of course, again, if any of you guys have a different opinion, of course, let me know in the comments. But for me, hands down, it's Alisson for man of the match for sure. What else do we have? If Diaz turns down Saudi, I'm happy to see him stay under the season. The good thing is that Cody and Diaz are happy to share minutes. I don't think we keep Lucho. Either way, I think we sell. Even if it's to another European club, I think we sell. Because I think we sign Xavi Simons and play him on the left. That's my one prediction for right now is Liverpool sign Xavi Simons in the summer, play him from the left as well. But Ali is simply the best goalkeeper in the world. 1v1 situations, absolutely he is, 100%. A couple of signings would, yeah. I think we can improve, but buying players currently to the system, get the Prem done, and it's funny season with transfer rumours as well. Yeah, a silly season will fully yeah, we'll fully backtrack, of course. He just knows how the position of his body to make saves with an attacker. It's charging at him. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, Allison is one of, like, it's rare what he does, and you mentioned it there, again, he's kind of like that, kind of like a hockey player, really, a hockey goalkeeper, where he just, like, again, stands tall, and it's very rare Allison will go to ground, really. Like kind of like you'll get a player running at him and he goes straight to ground. I think the only time he'll do that is if he necessarily has to do it. But he kind of like glides across the floor. Really, he gets down and he kind of glides to try and block the attacker. And I think again he's in a very rare category of goalkeepers that does that. In my opinion, anyway. I think it's only him and probably like what, two others maybe in world football that does it. Which again sets him apart, really. But we don't play badly. We've just stopped playing. Have a nap. Yeah, absolutely. You don't get pulled off until halftime. Yeah, absolutely. Today was a typical result which champion side would have. Yeah, absolutely. And again, we had these games. When we did win the league. Like, look, Liverpool's most famous scoreline in the 1920 season was 2-1. We didn't have. We didn't blow teams away every single time, and we didn't, look, I think our biggest win in that season, and it's just me off the top of my head, was Everton at home when we won 5-2. Like, that was our biggest win that season, in terms of goals. But yeah, like, again, and I would take that, if every single game was 2-1 Liverpool from match 1 to match 38, and Liverpool win the league by record amount of points or wherever, I'd 100% take that. And that's the thing. Like, you look at, there's certain times where, even now, you look at Arsenal, for example. Arsenal have the best defense in the Premier League, officially, technically, because of the amount of goals they've not conceded. But Liverpool have more clean sheets than them. And again, that's something that you look at it and go, oh, okay, like, Liverpool will concede goals. Like, that's the thing. The way we play, the way Liverpool are attractive, and the way we, play the whole philosophy, we will concede the odd goal now and again. But defensively, we've been sound. And, there's been times this season when we haven't been sound. But we've been better. We've ended up winning 2-1, 3-1, or, something like that. And that's really been the difference this season. Again, like, when we've needed to, we've gone up the extra levels now and again, where we've gone quick, quick fire goals. And all right, last week we didn't do it. We were poor. From the first 15 minutes against against Fulham, we were good. All the rest of it, apart from the last 10 minutes, last 15 minutes, I would say we were crap, and we were crap. And we only wanted to play football in the last 15 minutes again. But that, if we were better sooner, which might have affected because of obviously bringing people on, again, that might have changed the whole ballpark, really. But look, for me, I think the evolution of Liverpool next season will be very interesting, and I'm very excited to see it. And I'm very excited to see what system and what players we're going to bring in next season, because again, I'm fully behind this manager. Like, look, Arne Slot has come in and bossed this league, and people will go at the end of the season when people talking about who's manager of the year and this, that, and the other. The only manager that can be in the conversation if they get Champions League is Forest, because what a job Nuno has done at Forest, unbelievable job. But Arne Slot's come in, walked this league. He's got the most wins ever by a manager that's managed 50 games for Liverpool. He's won 36 of those 50. He's ahead of Joe Fagan and Kenny Dalglish. That puts you in legend status already. It puts him in legend status in winning the Premier League, alone, really. But what this manager's doing and what these players are looking like to go and thrive now, well, you've got Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk also now committing their future. To everyone else, that's showing ambition. And look, like I said, somebody mentioned it on Friday's show about do we need to apologise to Richard Hughes? Personally, right now, I'd say no, because look, Liverpool have, we've finally done it. We've broke through. We've signed Mo Salah to a new contract. We've signed Virgil van Dijk to a new contract. All right, Trent's off. Who cares? But Liverpool now are planning for the future. And all right, judge everyone then at the end of the summer transfer window. Because if it comes up that Liverpool, again, are lacking in certain positions or lacking in certain criterias, again, criticize those people then. And again, people are right to do that, 100%. But as of things right now, of course, enjoy the rest of this season. Enjoy, again, the way Liverpool are playing, going on to win the league. Again, enjoy that. Enjoy, take it all in. That's the thing I'd say. Again, even us winning the league back in, when everything shut down and that, we knew Liverpool were going to win the league. Everybody knew. Like, Liverpool had the league done. Like, we didn't even have to come back after COVID, and we won the league. This time, we actually get to celebrate it and take it in, the fact that Liverpool are going to win a league title. Yeah, again, our second league title in 5 years, our 20th league title in our history. Like, take it in. Because, again, even if you go into the game and that, because, again, today, personally, I thought the crowd were poor today at Anfield. Again, I'd love to go to Anfield. I'd love to go and get the tickets for the last couple of games of the season. But, again, everybody needs to add to it, in my opinion. Even if you make the lightest bit of noise, it's still noise. Like, again, and take it in, take everything in. Because, look, next season we might not be where we are now. We might not be. But the hope is that, of course it is, as well. But for me, take this season in, and again, take the title in, because, look, again, we've been fortunate enough in my lifetime already. I've watched us win 2 European Cups. I'm going to watch us win at the moment 2 Premier League title or league titles, really. Again, take it all in, because next season we'll hope to get 21 and take that in as well. But would you take an invincible season with 13 draws, Con? No, I'd much rather take points. To be fair, personally, but look, might infuriate Arsenal fans with that. But Slot's attacking football suits number 10s, like it's similar to Pep's formation of the last 4 years. Yeah, that's why I think Xavi Simons would be perfect for Liverpool in some sense. Kind of worked my way around that now. I was very much against it when I heard about it, but now, like I'm more than happy with it coming in. It's all ifs and buts, but anyone who suggests that Slot should be done did something differently when we have won the league needs to keep quiet as well. Self-allowed people are allowed opinions. Yeah, of course, everybody's allowed opinions as well, of course. But most importantly, we will be level with United in 20 league titles. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed to take it in. Let's see if we can do a double. A double? Can we do a double? A double of what? Oh, do you mean Premier League's back to back? Opinions are not facts and worthless, as we've told. Especially social media opinions. Still has won the league. He has won the league. And again, he's won the league without his team. Really, of course, this team's good, but it's not his team. If you get what I mean. Again, it's not his players that he's brought in. So, look, of course, next season, the big one will be his players, of course, with Virgil van Dijk and other players in as well anyway. But look, I'm going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Big thank you to everyone for tuning in to tonight's show. Anyway, and look, of course, let me know if you're watching on the repeat, because I know plenty of people do watch the repeat, of course. Again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments as well. Apologies, there was no match preview as well. I did run out of time this weekend, so again, on Friday as well, so apologies for that. Anyway, but look, I do think, for me personally, enjoy the rest of the season, because look, I am very much enjoying the fact Liverpool are 2 wins away. We're 2 wins away. We're genuinely, that brings a smile to my face. We're 2 wins away from winning the league title. Oh, it's getting close now, isn't it? As well. But let me read out the last few comments. But I'm happy with us winning it, obviously. Yeah, absolutely. Growing up in the 70s and 80s, it seemed like titles were won in the last match or two. I just looked because memory is feasible. And our first 4 under Paisley were won by a point twice, 2 points once, and 8 once as well. So again, great to be fair as well. But what else we got? Last question, Colin. Do you think Harvey will be sold? Yeah. Actually, do I? Personally, no, I don't think you should. But maybe to obviously put room in the squad. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, 100%. I would say so. But like, I wouldn't personally. I think Harvey is a vital player for Liverpool Football Club anyway. But look, we'll have to wait and see for the summer, of course. Anyway, but again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway. And of course, let me know anything you guys have thought about the game or so on as well. Let me know man of the matches as well down below as well. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode anyway. And yeah, make sure you are liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff. And I've been calling out from the COP Council. We'll see you guys later. Ta-ra.